What up, everybody? It's your boy DFS Up North here with another 10 under 10 podcast, our last one of the season. It is week 18. It is time to win you $1 million. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy DFS Up North here with another 10 under 10 podcast where I tell you my favorite 10 plays under 10% owned, or they were 2 days ago. A couple of guys have vaulted up in ownership this week just because it is the last week of the season. We have people sitting, and ownership is probably going to change a ton, even between now and filming this Saturday morning and Sunday afternoon when the games go off. So these are my favorite lower owned plays, I'll say, this week. It is week 18. It is the last week of the regular season and the last week of this video. We have had a fantastic season, and let's get this thing out with a bang. First and foremost, as we go here, let's check out the DFS Army Chalkboard. Let's see what's going on this week. Again, this is something that we compiled at live updates for our DFS Army VIPs. If you are not a DFS Army VIP, you can use that code UpNorth that gets you 10% off for light. But at QB, Dak Prescott at $8,000 is coming in as the top owned play, followed by Nick Mullins, who is also in this article. He does still sneak in under 10% on Draftkings. But yeah, Mullins is going to throw the ball about 1 million times here. Fields, Geno Smith, who I really like this week, Jalen Hurts, even a Jake Browning, some Jake Browning love, some Jordan Love too, which is interesting. At wide receiver, again, we've got guys who are high-end wide receivers that are expensive at the top. Followed by DK misprice in Christian Kirk, who is $3,000 and essentially a free square this week. You just put him in your lineup and move on. Over on the other side here for running back, we've got Jordan Mason getting all the snaps for San Francisco this week at a ridiculous 31% ownership, which is, I mean, in cash, you eat that. I think that you can go underweight in GPP, though. And then guys like Breece Hall, who was in this article, that's jumped up a little bit, all the way down to James Conner at 8%, who I do like this week. He's not in my article, but I am very interested in him. We got free square, Noah Gray, not free square, but Travis Kelce is likely not going to play. Johnny Munt, who I'm interested in, Jake Ferguson, but there's another guy that I like here at tight end, who we're going to talk about here in a little bit. If we look at Fanduel on the chalkboard, let's see if it's any different. We've got Josh Allen at the top here and Nick Mullins all the way down at 5%, which I am a fan of. Jordan Mason still at the top, said CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. More stud wide receivers over here because Christian Kirk is actually priced appropriately. So that is our ownership for this week. Let's take a look at my 10 under 10 GPP article. You can always find this for free at DFS Army. My motto, as you know by now, we are week 18, is if you ain't first, sorry, that's the Ricky Bobby quote. If you ain't first, you're last. But first or last, I ain't here to min cash, right? I am trying to find plays that are going to put me over the top in GPP and help me get to the top of those contests. I don't care if I 1.5x my money or 2.5x my money. I really don't even care about the entire GPP structure. If I am playing GPPs, that is money that I am walking outside and lighting on fire, right? That has to be your strategy if you are trying to take down one of these contests. We are not just trying to min cash. That is if you want to play small 100-mans, you want to play head-to-head, cash, like less than 500 people in a 3-entry max or something like that. Single entries, that's fine. Then you can play to min cash, right? Or you can build a safe cash lineup. For me, GPP is anything over, 1,000 entrants. You can even if it's single entry, 5-entry max, 3-entry max, 7, 20, 25, 150, whatever. We're building to take the thing down, right? And to do that, we do know that we need low owned options. Last week, Draftkings smash, Fanduel, not so much, but nailing Justin Fields, QB2 for the week. Nailing Tyrod Taylor, QB4 for the week. Zamir White was just the chalk that we were eating. Last two, struggle bus. Over on Fanduel, though, we had the number 1 RB in Kyron Williams. Not counting my boy Durham or Noah Brown, who got injured on the 7th play of the game. But a 3.02x value on DK and 1x less on Fanduel is really not that bad. Let's get into this week. Geno Smith. love me some Geno Smith this week. A game that they need to win. They also need to be the biggest Bears fans ever. So Geno Smith smash spot this week. You know what? I think he's got massive upside here. He showed it against Dallas earlier this year with 34 DraftKings points. You know, you're fighting against a little bit of the need to run or the want to run, but I think this is going to be a closer game than people expect. I love going up against the Cards with anybody. So Geno Smith, pair him up with DK, and then run it back with James Conner. Smash, smash, smash. Love that GPP build this week, and is coming in under 10% owned. We talked about Nick Mullins on DraftKings. He's climbed up a little bit from when I wrote this article, about 9%. But here's the deal. Vikings need to win, and he's going to throw it 40 times. It's going to happen. Okay. He's going to throw 2 to 3 TD passes. He's probably going to throw 2 to 3 picks. The Vikings are probably going to lose, but that does not limit Nick Mullins from having a absolute high-end 20 DraftKings points performance, which at 5,000 is going to 4x value, something that we're always looking for here. Lock him in with Jettas, even Addison, who's coming off that ankle sprain, but it looks fine. Run it back with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think that the Lions are going to rest this week. People are talking about, you know, potentially Teddy Bridgewater getting in what should be his last game ever against the Vikings, where he started. That narrative's crap. Dan Campbell's not going to do that. He is playing to win this game. Now, if the Lions get way up, then we're talking potential that they do. But I think the Vikings will be absolutely competitive in this game. And I'm a big fan of Nick Mullins at QB here. The GPP upside is awesome. All right. Talk about, hey, we're not here to min cash. A guy that I think that you can climb into or slide into your lineups. To do that is Tyjae Spears, right? Backup running back for the Titans. But he's a great pass catcher. I get that this is probably Henry's last game as a Titan, but Sharp will still be involved, right? The floor is super low, but he's got massive upside. He catches a couple passes. He can take one to the house, right? We're just trying to hit on one of these guys that out of nowhere gets you 20 points, right? And Tyjae Spears, it gets enough run to do that, even sharing a backfield with Derrick Henry. And then finally, guy who just put up 34 points against, not finally, we got 2 more to go, but a guy who just put up 34 points against these same Panthers a couple of weeks ago, Mike Evans, like he's been absolutely on fire, or 32.2 points. This is a great spot. Love Mike Evans this week. He's a guy that we need to be in on. The touchdown upside is huge. Baker is dealing with a little bit of a rib injury. He's going to be fine. He's going to play. Love him here. And then a guy that smashed the last 2 weeks, 90 and a TD, 106 and a TD with Tyrod at the helm. Darius Slayton, big chunk plays in a hurry. Super cheap, $4,000, makes so much work. So what does that look like if we were going to build on DraftKings, right? Let's start with our boy Geno, who is super cheap here. Let's lock in. Let's go wide receiver. We're going to get Evans. We're going to get DK. And I guess if you wanted, like, Christian Kirk is a cheat code here at this price, but kind of like Slayton at $1,000 more. That's a more intriguing play for me, right? I said we wanted to run it back with Connor. Okay. And then let's go to tight end. Okay. And Njoku's fine, but I like Jake Ferguson here. Who else? Musgrave's coming off the IR. Ty Conklin. You could go your boy Johnny Munt. We got about 4,000 left per player. Kate Otten. Man, where do I want to go? Oh, all right. Here's the deal. I think that he is finally going to smash this week, and that is Kyle Pitts. All right. Another running back. We've got, obviously, Christian McCaffrey's out. Kyron Williams is not going to play. I love me some Breece Hall this week. All right. Now we got 2 spots left. We're looking for a cheaper defense. Okay. You could go Commanders, but like really we want to look at somebody who is playing some backups, right? And with the San Francisco 49ers, I think that's a viable defense to go, or offense to go against. Bengals against Jeff Driscoll is interesting to me. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go Bengals. And now I got 5,000 left for my flex spot, and that gets us to guys like Charbonnet, Madison, London, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Palmer. Is Edwards-Helaire going to play this week? Looks like it. Foreman, Allgeier, Hunt. Okay, so now here's the deal. All right, I don't love that. So now what we do in our build, right, is we say, okay, I don't love it. Let's take the cheat code Kirk and see if at 6,000 my lineup looks a little better. Okay. Let's see. In the flex at 6,000 now. What am I looking at here? All right, that gets me up to like a McBride, Thielen, Zamir White. What do they got to say about White this week? Lead back, right? Let's play Zamir White. That's a much better lineup, right? Or can we go even cheaper than the Bengals? Let's say we go down to the Rams. We get that extra 400 in the flex, and now I can get up to like an Njoku or a Monty, D-Hen, Mixon, Jones, Higgins, Laporta, D-Hop. I kind of like Montgomery there, even against my Vikings. All right. So that would be a build that I am very intrigued in. If you wanted to go like a Mullins route though, right? Now we can get even funkier, a little bit funkier anyways. We're going to play 2 stud wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson. Now let's see if I can do it with Slayton. Okay. Love Slayton. Running back, let's say we're gonna get real crazy here. We're gonna go Tajay, and then oh yeah, well I mean we can play Jordan Mason chalk. I don't hate that. We can go 2 cheapy running backs here. Tight end, okay. Let's go super cheap. Let's say we're gonna throw a tutty to Johnny Munt. All right, love Johnny Munt this week. Now DST, I can get in on like a Jaguars at Tennessee. Lions, Browns, Raiders. Raiders are interesting here. Saints, Seahawks, Pats, 49ers. No, I think I'm going to go cheap again, even against Jordan Mason. And I don't hate a defense against it here. But let's go. Let's go Bengals in this spot. Now we've got just all the money in the flex, and we don't really need it. But we can go like a Rashad White. Give me about 8,000. I can get any defense I want here. And let's say we're going to go Bucks D, right? Against Carolina, against your boy Bryce Young. All right. So that would be an interesting build with a couple of stud receivers. Rashad White is in a great spot here. And then your unique play in this one is going to be Jordan Mason. So on FanDuel here, okay, Jared Goff. All right, I am a full believer that Dan Campbell is not going to lay off his starters here. I love Jared Goff. They don't need to win, but like they should try to win. It's a divisional game. I think that last time Monty and Gibbs went bonkers, and the Vikings are going to stack the box and stop the run here, which opens up guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jared Goff is going way under-owned. I love that unique spot for him this week. Breece Hall, running back, Jets. Okay, they got nothing to play for, but Breece Hall has been an absolute monster. 13 carries, 9 catches last week. He's a real dual threat. I'm super high in on him. We talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got 12 catches on 14 targets for 106 yards and a TD 2 weeks ago against the Vikings D. He's scored in 3 straight games. Love him here. Everybody's going to play Christian Kirk. I think this is a good play for both sides. Calvin Ridley's too cheap and is going to get no ownership. And then I said, I think it's time. I think it's time that Kyle Pitts finally gets in the nuts. All right. Let me log into draft. We're going to try. I mean, FanDuel is the stone cold nuts worst to try to get into. Let me see here. Wait for it to log in. It looks like it's going to let me, which is so handy. And then slow internet today. Saturday special. We ain't playing the Saturday special. I mean, we are. I got notes up for that. If you guys are DFS Army subscribers, right? Okay, so what does a Jared Goff look like? A lineup look like? Okay, he's mega cheap, 7,500. We go Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. All right, now we're hurting a little. Let's go Jordan Mason. Okay. And let's get a tight end and a D. Sam Laporta, way too expensive. Kyle Pitts, though, way too cheap, 5,400. Okay, now we're working our way back up a little bit. Let's go to defenses. I said, I kind of like the Rams, and they're going to be crazy cheap here. Good spot that gives us some salary savings, right? Lets us get to about 6,600 left. Oh yeah, there's Amon-Ra. We love him. Okay, let's get another running back. Let's get a running back. Who do we got that's cheap? We love Breece Hall. Can we afford him? I think we can. Wide receiver. Let's go Slayton. Let's find Darius. 5,700, baby. Let's go. That gets me 68 for my. Oh man, this lineup is really good. If Jared Goff plays the whole game, like this is a really good lineup. Why am I? Oh, I'm sorting by name. 6,800, right? So we can go. Oh, just almost got Bijan there. Ingram, Jones against the Bears. What do we got going on here? Doesn't have an injury. What did you do against Chicago earlier this year? Oh, just a quick 25 points. I hate the Packers, but let's go Jones. All right. So that's a decent looking lineup. I don't hate that. Right. So that's that's kind of where I'm ending up this week. What are we saying about Elijah Mitchell? Doesn't have a game designation, overcame an illness. He's gonna start. People love Jordan Mason, so maybe Mason is not the best play here. So if I was going to go another running back, what would that look like? Oh, I go Jones up top now. Jones. And now I should have 6,800 in the flex. Or 5,700 in the flex. Oh, look at how slick that. Oh, I already got Darius Slayton. Dang it. We can go. I don't love Jackson Smith and Jigba. Boyd, Quentin Johnson. Don't hate either of those guys. I'd probably go Jones, and then man, I don't know. What's the chalk look like? Pollard. Oh, Ronnie Rivers. People are in on Ronnie Rivers here this week. I don't hate that play. Right, playing for Kyren Williams. So that is it, guys. That is where I am at this week. I hope that this article and this free article and this video free have been helpful for you this year. 18 weeks of this. You can always find my content on dfsarmy.com. We'll have more VIP stuff, maybe some free stuff over the playoffs here. I got to see what kind of our plan is for the playoff slates. I will always be covering the showdowns, at least the main ones every week. And then you can find my golf content as well. PGA season kicked back up this week. So if you're not a DFS Army VIP, you can use that code UpNorth. That gets you 10% off VIP membership monthly for life. All right. So get into it here, and I will see you guys in the Discord. Peace.